Have you been diagnosed with nasal polyps? Contact Prism Clinical Research for more information about our nasal polyp study.
The Wild fall 5-3 to the visiting Chicago Blackhawks. It's time for Wild Breakaway, presented by Prism Research. Alongside Tom Chorske, I'm Audra Martin. The Minnesota Wild were able to battle back from 2-goal deficits in each of the first 2 meetings this season against the Chicago Blackhawks. Unfortunately, they couldn't do that once again tonight, really because of one guy, Jonathan Toews. A huge night from the Chicago captain. 5 points, 3 goals, 2 assists. Dominating night from him, and he really was the deciding factor as the Wild fall and head into the bye week now on a tough loss.
Well, they tried to mount comebacks, and they would score goals, and then Jonathan Toews would get on the ice, and he and his line mates would usually answer the bell with a goal of their own. So Wild couldn't ever get caught back up, but their power play was strong tonight. Zach Parise got another goal, which is a good sign going into this break, and will hopefully give him some lift coming out. And the Wild really pushed hard in the third period. It was an exciting, entertaining game for both teams, just a little bit more for the Chicago Blackhawk fans. So
here's a look at tonight's final stats. It was the Chicago Blackhawks who had the edge in shots on net, 39-32 in favor of Chicago. But a perfect night on special teams for the Wild, 2 for 2 on the penalty kill and 2 for 2 on the power play. Now the Minnesota Wild have the next 5 days off for that bye week, and here's what the head coach had to say about his team getting that time off.
The 39-14, I told them to, quite frankly, to get some rest and enjoy this break, but want to get home to play hockey. I said, for 4.5 months now, you guys have done a tremendous job, and we've got something special going on potentially. So I mean, it's great to get away for a couple days, but the desire to play has got to be there, and not like, oh, I want to stay on vacation, I want to stay here. You got to want to come back and play. And if we do that, then I think we'll be fine.
So now here's a look at what's next for the Minnesota Wild following the bye week. They come back to face the LA Kings Monday night. That snaps or ends the longest homestand in franchise history, 8 games in front of the home crowd. A tough matchup for the Minnesota Wild, especially after having all that time off.
Yeah, they will, as you heard Coach Bruce Boudreau say, have to come back ready to play. But, you know, during that break, they'll also look at cleaning up some of the areas that they think need work. The coaches may not even go on break. You can see Coach Boudreau just, it makes coaches so uncomfortable to let their teams go, you know, kind of in the middle of the season. He's got such a good thing going. He doesn't want to see them slip away and get away from that momentum or get away from that mindset that they've carried so far. But it has been a great year. Hopefully the break is something good and they can maybe heal up some little bumps and bruises, but they're going to come back and they'll be very busy. So they're going to have to put a mindset to it and get their rest in between games, because it's going to be a busy schedule and it's not going to be easy. And
unfortunately, the bye weeks have not been too kind to teams so far this season. A lot of struggles coming back after those long days off. So we'll see if the Minnesota Wild can snap that trend as they get back to work Monday night against the Kings. We look forward to seeing you then. Enjoy the bye week. For Tom Chorske, I'm Audra Martin. Thanks for joining us on Wild Breakaway, presented by Prism Research.